Hey everyone, welcome back to Gem and Cozy. I am bringing you guys along for some packing as well as some updates, I guess, about the office. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've recorded anything for YouTube, and it's mainly because I've been prioritizing packing, but as you can see, everything has moved around in the office again because we're working on fixing this closet, which is the side of the room I never really show you all because everything is a mess. And I would have to stop packing because of the dust and everything, because the wall behind it had holes from the new plumbing that was installed when we moved in, so we never got to it. And finally we did, and my boyfriend did the sweetest thing. He started it while I was away for the weekend, so I wasn't able to work that weekend because I wasn't here, and I thought that was the kindest gesture. So it's moving along. Rarely do I walk around and pack orders with you guys, but I am in the mood to do that. I was just watching one of my older Q&A videos from last summer, and it was so interesting listening to myself answer some of these questions. And right now I feel like I'm in such a different place with my business, but I also love hearing what I had to say about how I got started and what I was enjoying at the time. It feels really grounding in a way, listening to yourself and hearing what goals are still the same and what has changed. Right now, this whole year has just been incredibly busy, and I'm super grateful, but I'm also just analyzing what's going to happen moving forward. And I don't really have answers, so I feel like I'm in a bit of a limbo and doing my best to just stay afloat, keep creating, keep having fun. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I don't know what I'm doing, if that makes sense. I guess that's how most people probably feel, like regardless of how much expertise you have in a setting. I feel like once you hit a certain threshold, you're starting from scratch on a certain point again. You're kind of like, okay, what's next? Is this gonna fit in here? We'll find out. On a random note, I am almost done using these little 5x5 square envelopes, and I'm so excited because I've wanted to clear this for the longest time because I'm trying to switch to 5x7, and it's finally happening. It is the weekend, and I had some returns I had to make because I went shopping last week. I had a bachelorette party that required me to travel, so I just feel like I have very little clothes. I'm just one of those people who never really have a variety of clothes, which is fine, but sometimes I feel like I just need to upgrade on some staples. So I went shopping. Some of the stuff didn't work out that I ordered online, so I had to return stuff. But luckily, my boyfriend was able to return one of the two things, and I'm sort of just thinking about what the rest of my weekend is going to be like. I really need to pack. That has definitely been my biggest agenda. I have 289 open orders right now, and I did get it down. I know I'm always making videos saying, hey, this is how many open orders I have, but it's sort of a way for me to reflect on it and be like, where am I at? So I actually did get it down to 50, but it shot up recently because the Doing My Least shooting star, this little guy, got a lot of attention, and so did the Horrors Persist, but so do I sparkly sticker. So everyone has been loving on these, which makes me so happy. It's just been extra busy because I'm trying to pack more orders coming in. And the funny thing is, I also have older videos that were on my Facebook that are getting views right now. It's so fascinating because it's not always an immediate result of you post something and then people really like it and it gets a lot of attention. Sometimes it takes months, which is really bizarre. So I'm kind of getting some surprise views and orders from that, which is really neat. The main thing I want to do this weekend is to kind of plan ahead for next week's launch. I haven't set a date yet because I felt like I was behind on taking photos and stuff, which I think I'm going to mention later because I have footage of me unboxing some sticky notes and talking about life. So I won't go into too much depth about that, but I really want to organize my house more. It's just been such a hot mess because I feel like even though we moved in at the end of last year, we just haven't really had the time to do anything. And since it's the summer, a lot of our like lawn care stuff is increasing. Like we have a lot of rose bushes that need trimming, and I was just out there earlier because I was spraying a finishing spray on a painting that I was working on, and I was like, oh my goodness, so much work needs to be done back there. And then I found out we have another fruit bearing tree. I'm not sure what kind of fruit it is, so I need to figure that out because they're dropping all over the grass. I also want to relax, and we do have some plans. So yeah, it's sort of just all up in the air. I really want to play more Stardew Valley. That's something new that we started. One of you guys, it might have been Katie who recommended it, I'm not positive, but I was on a live and I was listening to music in the background, and one of you recommended the Stardew Valley soundtrack, so I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And it was really cute and soothing, and I was telling my boyfriend about it after the live, and then he was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that game. Like, he was saying it's older and it's not that expensive and that they added a co-op version, so he got it, and we've been playing on our PS5 controllers, and the time goes so fast when we play that we started playing at like maybe 10 p.m. and then we went to bed at like 1:30 because the time goes so quickly when we're playing. It's very like relaxing and addictive, so I do want to make some more time to play that this weekend. It's super cute and cozy, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but it's basically like a farm simulation. You get land and you can grow things, cut down trees, maintain the property, and then there's like a village, so you can make connections with people there, chat with people, and then there's little quests and things. It's cute. My favorite thing so far is to just forage. I like just exploring and finding random things like wild horseradish or daffodils that I can pick up and sell. So it's been a lot of fun. We just started though, so we're not that far in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like I need more fun in my life, so I am glad that we have something silly to look forward to. And there's a few things that are on my radar too. I think the new Bridgerton season dropped. I don't remember the date, but I feel like it was early May, so it might have dropped already. I really enjoy the music, the costumes. The storylines have been great for the first few, in my opinion, so I do plan on checking that out. And then I finally started ACOTAR. So that is Sarah Maas's book series that's really popular, A Court of Roses and Thorns, I think. Did I mix it up? ACOTAR. I love that there's an abbreviation for it because it makes it so much easier. A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I'm on the first book, and I got to start that because I went to the airport for my travel, and I'm so glad that I got it on my Kindle because I haven't been able to read it because things have just been so busy. So I'm really excited because I finally got a chance to just sit with it, and I'm enjoying it so much. Yesterday night I was so tired, but I still made time to read a little bit, and I was like, oh, I'm really loving the main, characters' storyline development. It's very cute, and I love all the, it's about like fairies, so I feel like I won't know what the book is fully about because I kind of just started it, but it's like a love story between a human and a fairy with lots of powers. So it's really interesting so far, and so many people have already read it, so I feel like I'm very behind, but I kind of like starting things later on because then I don't have to wait on anything, which is super satisfying. Like, I love when I get to start a Korean drama and the whole thing is already out, so then I can just binge watch the whole thing. That is a huge perk. I have to cut these stickers because I have them printed stuck together. It's not a big deal, but I really need to, the next time I order, this is not happening. When I first printed these, I was like, oh, let's save some money and print the smart ass and the dumb ass together. And here I am. The smart ass is way more popular, so I'm having to cut them for the smart ass first, and then the dumb asses just kind of hang about. I feel like a lot of the days, like, I start off as a smart ass and then I end as a dumbass. Box number 1. Oh, I'm so excited. I didn't know which one was gonna have what inside, but this one has my newest sticky notes, and I printed 50 of each. Look at that. I hate that my ring light casts like a shadow, because there we go. Look at that. That's so cute. I decided to go for a starry background, and I did a different type of gradient to try to match the doing my least concept with the blue. So my trying my best shooting star is more of a purple background, and this one I added like bigger chunky little stars in it, and it looks great. You guys have loved this design lately, so I finally decided to print it, and I actually was a little scared that it wasn't going to print very well, but this printed perfectly. It says, "We'll play dead to avoid people." It's my little possum, and I put little stars and swirls right in the middle just for a silly effect. It kind of reminds me of these little details that you would kind of see like in Sailor Moon, for example. A lot of their art would come with like little stars and bunnies, especially Sailor Moon's, like her blanket. So that's what inspired me to add these little details. It also just adds a nice pop in between the gradient that I really appreciate. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that these printed well. I was planning on having, ooh, that printed so great, a launch sometime this week, but I didn't have a chance to take product photos, so I decided to hold it off until next week. And I think that's gonna be a better use of my time, because I also plan on releasing new sun catchers, so it's gonna take me way longer to quality check everything. And whenever I get sun catchers, I have to take so many pictures and videos because I like to show you guys what it looks like when I peel them, and the weather has to cooperate, so it's a whole ordeal. I traveled over the weekend into Monday, so it's been really busy, and then work has been super busy. I had a large wave of orders due to 2 stickers. The horrors persist, but so do I. And the doing my least shooting star, I released them on the same day, and I actually released them early because I did like a little preview video, and so many people were like, oh my gosh, when is this going up? And I'm not used to having people wait on my work to drop, just because my audience has never felt big enough to feel that way. So in the past, I used to be able to casually share, hey, here's a design that just arrived, without really having a set game plan on the release date. But now I'm realizing like everything I share needs to come with some kind of itinerary. Yeah, so a lot of people are like, when is it coming out and everything? So I decided to release it a little bit early, and it worked out really well. The video that I shared of the doing my lease sticker got over 2 million views, which is incredible. And a lot of new people found me. So I've been just busy packing and trying to stay afloat. But if you guys have watched some of my older videos about me experiencing burnout lately, I do think that's been better. I've been walking more, exercising more. And then I think the trip that I had this weekend for my friend's bachelorette also sort of forced me to take a break, which was really, really great. It was a super busy weekend because we were in a very sunny city and we were like walking around a lot. Ooh, that's a no. And it was a lot of standing, a lot of talking, which is a lot for me being an introvert. Like a whole weekend of socializing with people is a lot. So as tiring as it was, I also think I had a really nice break, and the trees there, the weather, the plants, everything was just so beautiful. So I'm really grateful that I was able to go, and luckily my boyfriend has been helping me pack orders, so I feel like things just feel more manageable than a few weeks ago, and the order count isn't as high as it was when I was packing a buttload of orders back in February and March. So things feel better. What I'm attempting to do is order things that I really needed to order kind of in lumps. So if I'm like, oh, I need to reorder this burnt out but still optimistic design because I'm low, then I'll go ahead and be like, oh, what else was I going to order? And then just do it. The problem I run into is that all of these needed to be designed. So I need to have some drawing time before I can commit to printing things, you know? So I think I spent last Thursday drawing and ordering, and then everything arrived this week. Oh wait, no, it would have been, actually, I was like, how did it arrive so fast? It might have been that timeline, because it arrived within about a week, now that I think about it. One of my childhood best friends who's getting married, and I got to meet all of her friends who I haven't met before because we all live in different states. And having a friend that you've known for a really long time is so different because we don't see each other regularly, but I know her from such a long time ago. So that's a really unique feeling, knowing someone since you were a kid and not knowing everything about them now, but knowing kind of the essence of the person rather than the person themselves. So meeting her friends who she does hang out with regularly was so different because they like are more up to date with each other and their preferences, whereas I know random things like from our childhood and about her parents or her family, that kind of feeling. So very different. One thing that was challenging though is that I feel like as I've gotten older, drinking has just become harder. I've never really like drank much. I'm more of a social drinker at best. Look at all this glue. Oh no. So I recently decided to just kind of mostly quit drinking because I feel like my GI is pretty sensitive, and also I just feel awful. Like, not what people say, like, oh yeah, being hungover, because I don't really drink that much, but I just have like fatigue and headache kind of feelings for days. It's almost like the whole week is ruined from just getting buzzed, which I think isn't worth it. You can't really participate as much if everyone is drinking together. There's a little bit of this like feeling of isolation, and of course it's fine, no one's like pushing to drink or anything, but it's more so that feeling of, I used to just not even think about it and be like, yeah, I'll have a drink with you guys, and now it's like, no, I'm just gonna have some water. And I'm also not like a fan of juice, so if I'm out I just prefer water. I don't really care for mocktails. And this is how I really knew, like, you know what, from a health conscious perspective, it just makes sense. If you're not handling drinking well and you don't really have an inclination towards enjoying a drink, you should just be consistent with yourself and get off the drinking. So yeah, that was like kind of something new to experience, I should say, because in the past I would just be like, yeah, I can grab a drink, or yeah, I'll have a shot with you guys, but this time I was like, no thanks. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that, because it's harder like said than done to not socially drink with people, because it's so much easier to be like, yeah, it's fine. So I've tried to kind of put myself in this mindset of, why don't you just like maybe only have like one drink if you're at like a celebratory place, like someone's wedding or something at best, like champagne, but otherwise just refrain from doing it altogether and turn it into a habit so that you get used to it as well as the people around you. And this was kind of my first bigger outing where I had to really set that boundary for myself and my health. So I was the only person not drinking though. I just made a new little box for this one for the Doing My Least shooting star, and they fit so nicely. We moved things around again with the shelves because we were experimenting with the sticker tray layout, because if you guys remember, I used to have them kind of closer together where the shelf would start here and then there would be another row of stickers, but it was really hard to see back here and reach for things. So my boyfriend was suggesting that we make the shelf wider so that all the stickers could just go across like this, and that's why it looks kind of chaotic. We move things around, and I have some that I haven't organized yet, as well as some random other ones that are still in the packaging. So we're still moving things around, and I cannot see the sticky notes up here, but Sticker Boyfriend can. So for now, I'm just rolling with it and seeing where this all takes us. I just made that shelf for myself so that it's easier to just store it for now, but I'm pretty sure when my boyfriend comes in here, he's gonna be like, that's out of place, and I'm gonna be like, yes, this is why you have been tasked to organize things, because I'm chaotic and just put things everywhere. It's organized chaos, but he likes everything to have a home and for everything to be labeled, which is very helpful for me because I kind of do that thing where I'm like, I know where it is, so it's fine. But then it's not helpful if other people are helping me pack and they're like, I can't find anything. And I'm like, that's because I have no rhyme or reason for anything. Let's unbox some sticky notes. These are sticky notes that were running low, so I restocked, including the Fresh Out of Ducks, the Frog Wizard, the Trying My Best Shooting Star is also low. So many purples. These printed so well. They're so shiny and pretty. And the You Got This Boo has been so popular, so I reprinted it, but I updated the design slightly so that the image here is bigger. Before it was kind of really small, so I felt like you could read the words better, and because of that, the clouds might have moved a little bit, but I like it. Hopefully you guys do too. I don't think it's all that different from the previous one. Here it is. It's also a lot darker. I guess it printed darker that time, but I like it because you can actually see the design better. And this one is super duper baby tiny, which is fine, but I just knew this is the direction I was headed with this design, so I'm happy about it. Oh no, there's banding on this one. Oy. That's interesting. It's like a little animal took a bite out of the back several pages. Here is the rest of the banding. It must have been between the You Got This Boo and the Frog Wizard, because that's the color that should have been on the You Got This. So interesting how that happens and how they miss it. It's taken me forever to list this axolotl painting, but I'm finally done with it, and the finishing spray makes it look so shiny. I love adding these like silver and gold accents. I feel like that adds so much dimension to the painting. So I know Dawn Marie really wanted this one, so normally I post them for anyone to get, but she asked about it multiple times, so I'm going to offer it to her first because I think she had a friend in mind for it, and I definitely don't mind her getting one of my original paintings. She's been a long time customer, so I'm gonna reach out to her. And then I finished this painting for April. This was a custom painting, and I had 2 more custom painting listings left at Gem & Cozy, and I kind of forgot about them. I don't really get too many custom orders, but then since I've gotten so many orders lately, it's really hard to find time to paint. So this was kind of like a blessing in disguise because I feel like it forces me to slow down and paint, and it's so fun. April sent me pictures of her 2 kitties. This one is Pirate, who's a void kitty, and then this one is Tiger. So I tried to add details to Tiger that really made it look like him or her, but I didn't want it to be so overly detailed that it took away from the overall art style of this piece. And April didn't ask me for any specific colors, just their cats. So I picked the flowers. I decided to add orange mums and little daisies, and I accented everything in yellow and orange to match the kitties and the gold accents. So I hope that April loves this. I absolutely love the pop of bright pink in it, and I added all these like kind of green leafy details in the background and little paw prints. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It actually took me a lot longer than it should have because I went all out in the details. But April, if you see this, thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you love your little kitties. I'm gonna put reference photos here so people know the source of inspiration. I took over the entire dining room table to paint because the lighting here is better than in other rooms, and I used this old shoebox to hold all my paint. These 2 paintings a lot of you have already seen. I just don't know how to finish it. I haven't really been hit with inspiration yet. I added little duckies to this one, and I think I need to outline the hydrangeas, and that one might be done. This one I added moths, the rosy maple moths, but the flowers don't feel finished, so it's sort of just sitting there. And then I did backdrops of 2 different paintings. I'm not really sure what I was doing, but this one's kind of like ocean starry, and then this one's definitely more aquatic. So maybe I'll paint whales or sea turtles. I don't really know. I just picked a color and decided to have fun with the background. Also random, but these peach rings from Albanese, I don't know if this is a Publix brand because we got it from Publix. They are so good. I randomly crave peach rings, and I know they're not good for you, so I really try not to eat them unless I'm super in the mood for that chewy sweet texture. It was perfect for my paint session, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. I was able to record all the footage that I needed for my new sun catchers in my backyard, and I even tried at the dog park, but that didn't work out very well because it was way too bright. But look how cozy and cute Safi looks laying around. We ended the day with some more farming on Stardew Valley. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. See you next time.